This morning, the Trump administration's tariffs against three of our largest trading partners took effect. Starting today, February 1st, imported goods from both Canada and Mexico will incur a 25% tariff, and imports from China will get hit with a 10% tariff. According to New York Times analysis, these tariffs could affect 40% of all U.S. imports, including everything from avocados to lumber to car parts to oil. Now, as I said, Mexico, Canada, and China are our biggest trading partners. The United States imports roughly $1.3 trillion worth of goods and materials from those three countries alone. Trump and his new press secretary have cited the flow of both migrants and drugs like fentanyl as the main reasons for imposing these tariffs, and Trump has claimed that the tariffs will raise trillions of dollars from foreign governments. But most economists agree that's not how this works. So let's dig into it. These tariffs are essentially a tax levied on imported goods, meaning that the U.S. companies which seek to buy goods from other countries must pay that additional tax or tariff. That fee is not paid by the nation that sends the goods, but by the American importer. And that increased cost is almost always passed on to American consumers to offset the company's new higher expense. For a moment, let's focus on the trade that occurs between the United States, Mexico, and Canada. The North American trading bloc is the largest trading bloc in the world. The trading relationships we have with Mexico and Canada, respectively, are larger than any trade agreements we have anywhere else in the world. And because our North American bloc has enjoyed more than 30 years of free trade agreements, from the Auto Pact with Canada to the Free Trade Agreement with Canada to the North American Free Trade Agreement, which included the United States and Mexico, to the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA, today our three economies are deeply and intricately intertwined. In 2023, the United States imported roughly $475 billion worth of goods from Canada. Our top import from Canada is, far and away, crude oil. After that, top categories include automobiles and car parts, machinery like nuclear reactors, and materials like plastics, wood, metals, and a lot of minerals. The same year, the United States exported roughly $350 billion worth of goods to Canada, including automobiles and car parts, machinery, electronics, oil and gas products, and plastics. So we buy more from Canada than we sell. Now, to Mexico. In 2023, we imported roughly $418 billion worth of goods, a little less than we buy from Canada. Top imports from Mexico include automobiles and their parts, computers, crude oil, and fruits and vegetables. Notably, half of America's imported fruit and more than two-thirds of our imported vegetables come from Mexico. Mexico is also the #1 supplier of medical supplies and devices for U.S. hospitals and doctors' offices. Now, in that same year, 2023, the United States exported roughly $320 billion worth of goods to Mexico, including electronic equipment, machinery, automobiles and parts, oil and gas products, and plastics, similar to Canada, and similarly, we sell Mexico less than we buy from them. Most American cars contain parts that are made in Mexico and Canada, and in the process of manufacturing, many American car parts cross continental borders multiple times. Experts estimate that, barring exceptions, car prices will increase by thousands of dollars. Many products like cars, electronics, denim, blue jeans, home goods, processed foods, they cross back and forth between all three North American countries as they're processed from raw materials to parts to a finished product at the point of sale. The decades of free trade between us and our neighbors have allowed that process and that relationship to develop. The United States imports roughly 70% of its crude oil from Canada and Mexico. And though Trump has indicated that there may be a 10% tariff on petroleum products instead of the 25% tariff being applied to the other sectors, the Council on Foreign Relations suggests that American consumers can expect to see gas prices rise at least 50 cents per gallon. In response to these new tariffs, both Canada and Mexico have announced plans to implement retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods, but the details on those are still to come. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has said that Canada will respond, quote, forcefully but reasonably. And Canada's former finance minister suggested targeted tariffs of their own in order to exert political pressure. Her suggestion, published as an op-ed in the Financial Times, suggested targeted tariffs on Tesla products and products from Republican-led states. Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum has also indicated that she is prepared to impose retaliatory tariffs, but hasn't provided details about what they might be. As our trade partners determine their responses to these new tariffs, Trump's new trade plan, now in effect today, has the potential to reshape decades of complex, hard-won international trade deals on which we've all come to rely.